One of the consequences of the sedentary lifestyle most of us have is the poor shoulder mobility of the whole shoulder girdle. I show you an exercise which brings mobilization, but also is a check-up for your whole shoulder girdle. When we look at the Wallslide, the already mentioned mobility of the whole shoulder girdle is very crucial, but also the mobility of the thoracic spine is important. In this exercise, we assess and we check the interaction between those parts, and we also train it. The easiest version to do it would be lying on the floor with our back on the floor. You can call it the floor swipe in that matter. There we have the gravity helping us a bit, but I will show you the real Wallslide on the wall. Now I show you the starting position of the Wallslide. You find yourself a wall, you place your back against it, you find a stable stance, which means a little bit wider, and you have the half a feet long distance between your heel and the wall. Now you find 3 points of contact, which should be always in contact with the wall when you perform the Wallslide. Which means the first one is the tailbone, which is very on the low part of the hip, and you can feel there's a bone right underneath the skin. The second one is the thoracic spine, which means it should be in the middle of your shoulder blades. There should be the second point of contact, and the third one is the back of the head. So now I place myself and get into contact with all these 3 points. Now I make sure my shoulders stay low, which means all the time my neck is easy and I put pressure on my muscles so I get my shoulders be in a lower position. Now I bring my arm onto the wall, which means the shoulder, the back of the arm, right here, the wrist, and also the backside of the hand. It should always be in contact. So it means both arms in this position, and we should make sure everything is in contact, like imagine the wall is magnetic. One very important thing is you have to have a neutral spine position, which means you shouldn't overextend your lower back, which means you can have especially these 2 contact points, but you can really overextend here, which should not happen. You should always have a good pressure in your abdominals to keep a neutral spine position. And when you find that position here and you have everything in contact, you're in the perfect starting position, 90 degree in your shoulder, 90 degree in your elbows, and from this you go. Now I show you the first movement of the Wallslide, and you keep in mind when you go into the starting position, you retract your shoulders, which means lower and to the back, like really good pressure here, and you have a neutral spine with a good core activation. And in this starting position, everything is in contact, and from here, from this U position, you extend your arms, and you slowly slide, always in contact with everything, into the V position. Right here, shoulders should be low, and you go back to the U. Make sure everything is in contact. Nice, easy breathing, good pressure everywhere. Again, into the V position, slowly going back to the U. This starting position and this first movement would be a challenge for quite a few people. So make sure first you get the starting position right, and when you don't get it, practice that before you go into the movement part. Now we increase the difficulty of the movement a little bit by starting in the W position and going into the V position. Which means the starting position we can for once start in the U and we go into the V, as we already know how to do it. And now I go down, and I go down a little further than I used to with the U, and I go into this W position. Especially when you go here, make sure your thoracic spine stays in contact and your wrist stays in contact. And when you're here, you can slowly go up again, slide with everything in contact into the V again, shoulders down, spine neutral, and slowly go down again, good pressure, thoracic spine point connection, checking always down and up. Looking at the Wallslide, it is not an easy exercise because there are lots of details which you should consider when you perform it, but it's a risk-free exercise. You don't have a lot of speed doing it, so the risk of somebody getting injured doing it is very slim. One problem might occur when people have injuries and also impingement problems with the shoulders, and when they go to the V position they might feel uncomfortable in that situation, they might feel a little of pain. Make sure you don't go into that pain. First let be checked out what's going on there before you really perform this exercise to the very end. Another thing is, it's a very good exercise. You don't sweat at all. Mostly you can do it in the warm-up routine, and you can also do it in the office. Remember, you sit all the day, most of the people in this position, so it's very good to get yourself into an upright position from time to time. I already explained a few things which you should look out for when you perform the exercise. First and foremost, the hyperextension should be avoided. Make sure it's better if you lose the contact, especially in the wrist region, than to really hyperextend. So make sure first and foremost the spine is neutral and the rest will follow right after. So have fun with this exercise. I think it's almost a beneficial exercise for everyone, especially when you're pain-free, so give it a try. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I will try my best to upload many other videos about mobility and about bodyweight exercises with and without tools. I have another channel which is called ROXX Box Workout. The link you will see below. There you can find box exercises with pads and also functional training combination. I hope you like that. Thank you all.